Hello everyone, welcome to my Sunday school class. My name is Miss Angie and today we're going to be talking about lesson 66, Israel conquers Jericho. God collapsed the walls of Jericho so Israel could conquer the city. Can God be trusted? Memory verse for today, Joshua chapter 1 verse 9. Have not I commanded thee, be strong and of good courage. Be not afraid, neither be thou dismayed. For the Lord thy God is with thee whithersoever thou goest. Joshua chapter 5 verse 13. And it came to pass, when Joshua was by Jericho, that he lifted up his eyes and looked, and behold, there stood a man over against him with his sword drawn in his hand. And Joshua went unto him and said unto him, Art thou for us, or for our adversary? Joshua 5 verses 14 and 15. And he said, Nay, but as captain of the host of the Lord I now come. And Joshua fell on his face to the earth, and did worship, and said unto him, What said my Lord unto his servant? And the captain of the Lord's host said unto Joshua, Loose thy shoe from off thy foot, for the place whereon thou standest is holy ground. So Joshua did so. Now, this verse here is going to remind you, this little part that it says, Loose thy shoe from off thy foot, for thy place within to thou standest is holy ground. You remember the history, the story of Moses in the burning bush? The Lord said the same thing, loose thy sandals from thy footsteps, because you're standing on holy ground. So he did so. And now with Joshua. Okay, we're going to talk about Joshua chapter 6, verses 17 to 25. Miss Angie narrowed it down for you. But I always have the Bible book, the Bible chapter, and the verses, so you can always check the story and read it at your convenience. Now Jericho was shut down because of the children of Israel. None came in or out. The Lord said unto Joshua, See, I have given unto your hand Jericho, and the king therefore, and the mighty men of valor. Here we have an image, more or less, of what Jericho will look like. And those little red dots that you see are the camp of the children of Israel. You shall compass the city, all men of war, and go around the city once for 6 days. 7 priests shall bear before the ark 7 trumpets of rams, horns, and the 7th day ye shall compass the city 7 times, and the priests shall blow with the trumpets. Here we have Joshua giving the priest the instructions given by the Lord. And it shall come to pass that when they make a long blast with the ram's horns, you shall hear the trumpet. All the people shall shout with a great shout, and all the wall of the city shall fall flat, and the people shall ascend, every man straight before him. Here we have more or less an image, a picture of what the city of Jericho would look like, and those shadows that you see are shadows of the Israelites. That's people walking around Jericho. So we continue on. This is a basic idea so you will know what the Israelites were coming up against. And Joshua the son of Nun called the priests and said unto them, Take up thy ark of the covenant, and let 7 priests bear 7 trumpets of rams' horns before the ark of the covenant. And he said unto the people, Pass on and compass the city, and let him that is armed pass on before the ark of the Lord. So here we have the priests with their ram horn, the trumpets, walking and blowing on them. And you see the wall of Jericho and the residents as well as their soldiers. And it came to pass when Joshua had spoken unto the people that the seventh priest bearing the seventh trumpet of ram's horn passed on before the Lord and blew with the trumpets, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord followed them. And the armed men went before the priest that blew with the trumpets, and the rear guard came after the ark, the priest going on and blowing with the trumpets. Here we see the priest with their trumpets, the Ark of the Covenant, and you also see the wall of Jericho with their soldiers up on top. And there was God's people in front of the priest with the trumpets, and you also see warriors, Lord's warriors, behind the Ark of the Covenant. Joshua had commanded the people to be absolute silence. No words should be coming out of their mouth whatsoever. And to the day I tell you to shout, then you shout. The ark of the Lord continued to go around the city every day. And then after the Israelites came back into the camp and lodged. As you see here, these are the seven priests blowing on the ram's horn. This is the only sound that they were allowed to make. The trumpet, no talking was allowed. They were to be silent and continue on. Joshua rose early in the morning, and the priests took up the ark of the Lord, plus seven priests bearing seven trumpets of the ram's horns before the ark of the Lord, went on continually and blew with the trumpets. The armed men went before them, and the rear guards came after the ark of the Lord, the priests going on and blowing with the trumpets. They continue on. You see here the Ark of the Covenant, the priests carrying it, and the other priests with their ram horns, trumpets, walking. Here we see the Israelites. They continue on with their compass around the city. And you see here the residents of Jericho. At this point in time, they're probably wondering why the Israelites have not attacked them yet. They compassed the city every morning once and returned into the camp. So they did this for 6 days. It came to pass on the seventh day that they rose early and compassed the city after the same manner. Only on that day they compassed the city 7 times. And here they are, once again walking, blowing the horn, and being completely silent. The residents of Jericho on their wall, they continue to mock them, wondering, guessing what's going on, why they have not attacked them. God had a plan. Little did they know. At the 7th time, when the priest blew with the trumpets, Joshua said unto the people, shout, for the Lord hath given you the city. It shall be accursed, and all that live therein. To the Lord, only Rahab the harlot should live and all her household, because she helped the messengers that we sent. The people shouted when the priest blew with the trumpets. It came to pass when the people heard the trumpet that the people shouted with a great shout. The wall fell flat, so that the people went unto the city, every man straight before him, and they took the city. Here we see the priest blowing the trumpets, and at the same time, far left, you see the people, the children of Israel, shouting. Here, they're also shouting. Nothing is happening yet, but it will soon. And so it did. The 2 young men that were spies went in went in and brought out Rahab, her father, mother, brother, and all she had, plus all her kindred, and left them within the camp of Israel. One thing that she had to do to make sure that the spies will be able to find her when the walls of Jericho fell flat to the ground. This is a scarlet rope or cord that she had to put on her windowsill so they will be able to detect her and find her location quickly. Once they did so, here she is with her family and the two spies, bringing them to safety and getting them out of Jericho. And Joshua saved Rahab the harlot alive and her father's household, all that she had, and she dwelt in Israel even until this day, because she helped the messengers which Joshua sent to spy out Jericho. In Hebrew 11:30, by faith the walls of Jericho fell down, after they were compassed about 7 days. This is the question: can we trust God? Can God be trusted? Indeed, but without faith, it is impossible to please our God. So we can trust Him, obey Him, and He will keep His promise. Here we have a last image of what the city would look like after the walls fell down flat. Here we see to your left, you see the wall 1, wall 2. It was already caved in. And then when you see between wall 2 and wall 3, here you see the outside city where Rahab lived. And if you go see the upper left, you see here a line that points out to Rahab's household. And then the rest, how the rebel served as a ramp for the Israelites to go up to Jericho and conquer it. Application. Can we apply what happened back then to us today? And if so, how? I just shared with you a little while ago on the Hebrew 11:30. All you need to do is trust, obey, have faith. God wants what's best for you, and He does keep His promise. Well, this is all for today. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, Lesson 67, God gives the victory. Have a blessed day.